Hello everyone, it's me, Hyperwars here. Welcome back to FPS. Oh, sorry, I should actually say my official name now, not just Hyperwars. Hi everyone, it's me, PRT Hyperwars, cunt. Welcome back to FPS, it's round number 10. First of all, gotta say big well done to Big Slater. Current, well, he's just become champion, so, you know, he's a big deal. A very, very big deal. But as we wait with buttons back to see his first... Oh, nope, we're going to go on board with the Toro Rosso that's in front of him, who I believe... I can't see, because we're too far back. It's probably Hot Shot, if I'm right. So Hot Shot with Crazy Trooper. Nope, yeah, it's Crazy Trooper. We're going to watch Crazy Trooper for his lap. But whilst we do that, I'll just tell you the standings, because, you know, why not? Big Slater first with 190. In second, we have Lightning Poker with 95. Trench third with 91. Fourth is Luke Vessel with 82. Fifth, Reese with 62. Sixth, Brown with 61. Seventh, Trinksy with 58. Eighth, Crazy Trooper with 53. Ninth, Shay with 34. And 10th, Buttons Back with 28. 11th, Sanko with 23. 12th, Rob with 22. 13th, King Cod with 20. 14th, Aaron with 19. 15th, the Jigsaw with 18. 16th is James Turish and Golob, both with 14. 18th is Sam with 10. 19th is Conal with 8. 20th is Mayorman with 6. 21st, Ghost Rider with 3. 22nd, T-Funky with 2. Meanwhile, on the constructors' side, Ferrari are winning with 208 points. Crazy Troopers retired. That's a big oof. Williams second with 139. Red Bull third with 106. Force India fourth with 97. McLaren fifth with 82. Haas sixth with 73. Toro Rosso seventh with 58. Mercedes eighth with 58. Oh, sorry, Toro Rosso had 59. Mercedes with 58. Renault in 9th with 41, and Alpha 10th with 33. And Team Reserve doesn't deserve points, so fuck you, reserves. Am I right, lads? But anyway, back to the Dubai. The Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, dabba dee dabba dum, da 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 da. Abu Dhabi. That's not the league I'm after, that's streaming. What's really annoying is I don't have post notifications on. However, everyone else should. So, just to let you know, turn on those post notifications to see us live at, well, 8 PM GMT every single week. As F1 Buttons Back goes fastest, followed by his teammate Ghost Rider over a second behind. We'll move on to Luke Vettel to see what his time will be, as I'm just trying to load back up the stream to link in chat. I don't know if anyone's done that yet. I'm assuming not, because, yeah, I don't know. Everyone's too busy. That guy's just flexed. So, Flex Incel. Just sitting at 135.2. Very, very good lap time there. However, I'm sure that will be beaten very quickly by Luke Vettel, who sits at 135. Dead on. Nice and speedy from him, as Trench also set at 135.2. Just beating Flex Incel there. So it looks like most of these drivers are in the 135s, apart from Hotshot in the 141s. Sanko on the other hand, choosing to on the hard tyres here. Obviously I don't know the weather, so if it's dry, Sanko could be, well, I'm assuming it'll be dry because you never see a wet racer, like, ever. I'm assuming Sanko is going for his hard run. Sees it's 139.8. Lightning Poker 140.9. So times are very different between drivers. Big Slater still yet to come out Reese, unfortunately, not here either. So everyone who's currently, well, been out at set lap times. Oh, there goes hot shot. Not such a hot shot now, are we? You don't watch FormulaPlayStation for the racing. You watch it for Hyper's meme noises. That's just a fact. If you watch FormulaPlayStation for the racing, what you do in your life? Well, having a sense for what our king... Well, who's that who's just bit out? Luke Vessel. Ah, dear. Why? 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 10 questions science still can't answer. Why? Dijiksamoto didn't improve on his lap, so I presume he was waiting for his fast lap. Sanka not setting a lap, neither is Lightning Poker. Shay's just leaving the pits. Redar starting his lap. Redar. Dijiksamoto on a second flying lap in his nice and shiny Ferrari. It's actually really good. We've got 18 drivers here today, so hopefully quite a few of them looking to steal points today. Flex Incel, no, it's Marcel, yeah. I keep looking at it, reading Incel, I'm like, no, that's definitely not what I should call him. But Flex Marcel, currently at third and reserving today as well. Something you don't really see often is reserves coming in and, well, do awfully well. But again, it's only quali, so things can change. For example, Dijiksamoto could actually set a good lap time. Press X to doubt. However, he actually is going faster through Sector 1 by 2/10. Sector 2 just slightly slower. Ooh, so that was a bit of a clip on the wall there. How much time is that going to lose him or gain him? He's got to gain quite a bit of time to overtake Buttons back here. He needs to gain a whole 6/10. It's only 1/10 that he gains. Yikes. However, that is on soft tyres, so he can go back out there a bit later on and try and set a brand new lap. Anyway, we're going to go to Redar, who has done himself and set a 134.2. I mean, that is nice. Nice. And you see, that's the difference between good drivers and bad drivers. Just like to point out there. It's the difference between drivers who can manage the ERS and those who can't. Redar, I can tell you now, he manages his ERS very well. Whereas you look at Luke Vessel, he just sticks in hot lap and thinks it's fine. ERS is important, people. As a commentator and as a guy who wins, and a guy who does well due to ERS, it's very, very important. I'm telling you, a lot of the drivers in this league, not just in this league, but in general, could be a lot faster if they used ERS and then just stick on hot lap. Not just for the races, but not just in qualifying, but in the races as well. Like Luke Vettel just sticks on hot lap, and he thinks he's content with that because he's fast. But trust me, if you manage your ERS well, you will get so much higher placing. Well, you will go higher. You will go further. Having your ERS on hot lap really, really limits you. Like whatever your top speed is on hot lap, trust me, you're thinking to overtake on a straight, down to medium on a shorter area of the track. And Luke Vessel, just quoting Luke Vessel there. Also good lap, James, with 136.0 on the mediums. Oh, and big flex, but Shay's just set in a 135.8. But anyways, quote from Luke Vessel: "My fucking controller died and I hit the wall." Hashtag relatable. Oh, hot shots. He yeeted himself in Sector 3. Oh, look, it's Sankey dead. I didn't even know I was on Sanka. I was like, What's that coming over the hill? Is it a Sanka? It's a Sanka! Yeah. You come here for the singing, I know. Don't lie. Oh, King Court is also retired. Oh, and, yeah. It's a nice place to park your car. I mean, just look at this. Brown's run out with ERS already. This is why you manage your ERS, people. Please. God damn it. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to, like, say, please, guys, manage your ERS. Like, it's just a thing that I need to remind people. Like, trust me. Trust me, the best racers in any league are good at managing their ERS. And even the shitty ones are actually good at managing their ERS. I don't get people who can't. But oh well. That's my own personal rant out. What, something out of the way. It's more... yeah. It's just my honest opinion. But I can tell you I'd be a hell of a lot slower at ERS this season. I wouldn't even be able to I wouldn't be able to get an esports team if I didn't have... if I just put my ERS into hot lap. Hot lap is only useful for quali. And even then, I wouldn't recommend it. Unless it's on tracks where you can burn out, like, the whole of your bar right on the line. Like, if you can burn that bar on the line, that's great. Like, if it's more a technical track, then, yeah, you know, your bar isn't going to get depleted. But if it's one where you need to use your engine loads, like Italy, like, basically anywhere, then just don't. Just don't. Sanka and Trinksy are both on laps, I'm assuming, so I'm gonna go watch Trinksy, then I'm gonna go back to Sanka to see what he can set. Trinksy obviously on the softs. I would expect him to be at least in the top 5 here. Maybe 6th. I definitely think he can get better than the 135.6. So, you know, I do think it's... I do think he'll be around about there. Whereas Sanka on the mediums, not sure where he'd finish. He's just behind his brother, Button's back, in the drivers. So maybe 8th or 9th. As Trinksy goes 12th, surprisingly. I honestly thought he'd do a lot better than that, and Sanka as well. Only moving up to 14th. Honestly, maybe I overestimated them. Or I'm just a nice guy. Or they just had their ERS on hot lap the whole time, hence why they didn't get a good lap time. Sorry. That's like one thing I'm going to get moaned at this season for. And next season. Is just people learn how to use your damn ERS. Hey, let's do watch Reader on his lap. You know what? I'm even more disappointed. Just in the fact that everyone proves me wrong. Actually, I know Reader's doing it in the pits anyway, so it's like, you know. But I'm just saying. Actually, I think Abu Dhabi is like one of the few tracks. Yeah, Abu Dhabi, it burns out on the line. So Abu Dhabi's on the fine tracks to do it at. As their trench sets a really good 134.5. My apologies are, it's just, you know, ranting at ERS, but mainly I'd recommend Overtake and Rich. As, who was that? Just Lightning Poker making it into the top 10 on the mediums. Damn. Damn, son, you go. As I think another 2 people had to set a brand new lap time. Well, I was actually one of them in Button's back, but both of them are going to pits. So, fun times. Lightning Poker still out here. He's actually the only man, I believe. I don't know, everyone who's currently in or is going in. Well, everyone who's out on track is in or going in, apart from the guys who are on out laps. Because obviously they're on out laps. You know, That's how outlaps work, as Flex is going quite slowly. Shay's starting his lap, so we'll go watch Shay. See where Shay can finish. Shate. Ha! Just realised if you say Shay's name and includes the T, it's Shite. Ha! Shite. 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 Ah! Luke, trust me. Drinks his eyes, but trust me, it does affect it. I'd happily teach you how it does. And in quali, if it's a track list, not so much. But on other tracks, trust me, it really does affect you. And I can show you that with footage from these streams that I've done. And I will compare Shay's Sector 2 once he finishes it. There we go. Obviously Sector 3 is pretty much the longest sector here, or the most complex. But Sector 1, it's just a bit faster. Sector 2, beats himself by 4/10. So already it looks like he could be ending up in 5th place. Which honestly would be very, very good for Shay here. And could even slide into 4th. If it's only just briefly, but... And even if it's only briefly, but still. Definitely looking good from Shay here. As it will be a 135.2, right on the money. 4th place it is for Shay. Flex Martin down to 5th. I'll move on to him now. See if he can go and beat his time. Get it back. Let's see what everyone's best tyres are. So the Jigsaw Moto, his best time is on the softs and has put mediums on. Logic. Quite a lot of people still out on laps though. If 17 seconds left. Button's back only just to be able to make it for his. And I believe that's Sankey there right behind him. So those two cutting it fine indeed. And Rito would even be able to set a new lap. Shay's pulled off for his. Flex Martin goes into 3rd with 134.9. James Tourish out so far. And you know what, we're going to go on board with Sam. Shay retires. Which means, unfortunately, he's going to finish behind Luke Vettel in 5th at the moment. However, Button's back and Sam are both ready to set brand new laps. I'm not sure Sam's actually setting a new one though. So we move on to Brown instead, who's run out of ERS. Yeesh. As Brown sets a 135.7, putting him into 8th position. The Jigsaw Moto confirms his 10th place, and he will be starting on the softs. So only a few people left to go. Reedar coming across the line. He doesn't really need to improve his lap, does he? And it's a 134.2. He's just basically asserting his dominance here. Big Slater choosing not to qualify. Last the first challenge? Question mark? Question mark? I'll keep an eye on Sankey or Dead here, as Button's back is in front of him. As they're both on the softs. What can Sanka set here? And what can Button set? So Button doesn't improve. However, Sanka moves up a few positions, I believe. Wasn't exactly checking where he was. However, I will give you the very quick grid rundown just before I go and get myself a water bottle. So it's Reedar taking 1st position, Trench 2nd, Flex Martin 3rd, Luke Vettel very close behind him 4th, Shea in 5th, and Button's back just within a second of the leader in 6th. Sam 7th, Brown 8th, James Tourish 9th, Jigsaw Moto in 10th. Well on James Olay, only person in the top 10 on the mediums. Lightning Poker just shy of the top 10 by milliseconds in 11th. Ghost Rider 12th, Trinksy 13th, King Hodge 14th, Sankey Dead 15th, Hotshot 16th, Crazy Trooper 17th, and Big Slater in 18th. Now, let's get on underway with the race. And as I go and get myself a drink and yeah. I think there's a formation lap. Yeah, I'm sure there is an FPS. Well, how did I know this was expected? I get back, and there's only one person disqualified. Bruh. Oh well. Turn that off, get that full track map up. Guys at the back, could you, like, go any slower? And Hotshot, I know that's your normal pace, but still. I'm fucking roasting him. Do. Abu Dhabi shite. That's just a fact, though. It's just a fact, bro. Oof. Anyway, here we go. Once we eventually get Big Slater lining up on the grid. Oh, Big Slater's already here. We're literally just waiting for Hotshot. Okay, so Big Slater and Crazy Trooper crashed at each other. Be serious now. 5 red lights. They're not going to appear for me. There we go. 3, 4, 5, and away we go, 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 go! Oh, it's a beautiful start from the Force India. Trench losing ground to the Williams or Luke Vettel. They're going 3 wide. That's almost impossible. You should not be doing that. Flex Martin gains through that. And Trench losing out on a bunch of positions here. And there's going to crash. There's been... Oh, Jigsaw is already out. It's a horrible start. Everyone's having collisions with everyone. Ghost, both the Toro Rossos screwed over there. There's a virtual safety car. I mean, it's already gone peak tong. It has already gone peak tong. There's a VSC in lap 1. I mean, how on earth? I think the VSC is now over as our drivers do get back to overtaking ways. As James Tourish gaining a few positions here thanks to that VSC. Sam losing out quite a few positions though. And Radar just getting a really good gap here as Flex Martin and Luke Vettel make contact. But luckily I don't think it's anything too dangerous here. As Ghost Rider 2 tenths behind Trinksy nearer to the back of the grid. Hotshot with some penalties there. But just looking on Trench's POV now. Right behind Luke and Flex. King Kodge losing out positions to Big Slater and Hotshot. Hotshot really riding up that grid. Sankey Dead is apparently a lap behind Crazy Trooper. I have a feeling that's not right, Chief. Here it goes. Luke Vettel up the inside of Flex. And that's a move nobody really expects to move on the first corner. A weird flex, but okay. As King Kodge and Brown both go into the pits. Meaning now, whilst Luke Vettel takes second position, Trench will just slot in 4th here. Trying to make a move on Flex. Ooh. Flex really turned in on Trench there. And Trench was looking for the move, it just didn't turn out for him. Zero flying sector 1 and sector 2, I think. There's a massive crash with Hotshot this time as the Jigsaw leaves. Meanwhile, up at front you can see Trench battling hard with Flex. Whilst here we have James right on the back of Shea. And when DRS is eventually activated, I can see there being a clusterfuck up here. Sam has slightly lost out to James. As a Hotshot gets another 5 seconds of penalties. And it looks like these giants at the back are just overtaking each other like loads and loads. As Trench now just doing his best to stay behind Flex. Just through this tight, narrow section. And it's really hard for him because like Trench has clearly got the advantage over Flex, but as you can see, Flex playing very defensive here. Radar setting a fastest lap. Ooh, Trench almost spinning out there. Can Shea get the move done on Trench? He's going up the inside. It's not an unorthodox place to make a move. I was wrong the first time. But unfortunately, Shea stuck in a Red Bull sandwich here. Pretty much like Bottas, am I right, lads? I don't think he's going to be able to make that move on Trench. Sanka's into the pits as well, along with Trinksy. I'm pretty sure only just went into the pits. With DRS now enabled, this should be fun. Now this is pod racing, lads. James, the highest medium runner, trying his best to get past Shea. He's going to dive it in. Shea leaves in the space. You know, that's fair enough. But I think Shea's just got it there. As it's, how many wide do we want to go here? The Crazy Trooper and Sam having a fight, along with James Tourish and Shea. Oh! And Crazy Trooper and Sam both hitting into each other. I'd have to look at a replay of that. Hold on, let me just go back on the stream here. Whilst we have the virtual safety, I'm going to look back on the stream and see whose fault that really was. And, oh, from what I can see, Crazy Trooper was just going straight, whereas Sam kind of drifting off to the right, going towards the braking zone. Not really either of them's fault. But both Crazy Trooper and Sam now out, and this VSC basically giving Radar a chance to pit now. I mean, Luke Vessel's still going to stay out. Radar's probably going to come out in like 8th or 9th on some fresh tyres. And the VSD doesn't help the guys at the back, but it helps almost everyone else. Yeah, you got to look at Trinksy here, and he's only just got up into 15th, so... I was right, 9th place for Radar. No, 8th place for Radar now, it is. So I went over for a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure if DRS is activated. Yes, it is. So Trench can get onto Flex here. Luke Vessel storming away in first. Trench not really using much ERS to make the gap closer. And maybe if he did, he probably could have got the move on Flex, or even pressured him a little bit more. I think Trench is going for the move on this straight. If I was Trench, I would. He's definitely close enough here. I don't even think he needs to use more ERS, as he has made the move, and he's gonna get it through the next section as Flex cuts the corner to try and keep his position. And only slightly, to be fair. You can't really go too wide there without one of you getting a penalty for it. They both made an attempt there. Sanka's into the pits. Trinksy's left the session. Oh, Shea's spun it. Big Slater also got quite a few positions here. Radar's going to come around and see Shea's smoke. Button's back also having to worry about Shea here. As Shea's spun it again. His tyres really, really fucked now. Flex Marcel speeding in the pit lane. Shea's definitely happy going in the pits as well. There's no doubt on that one. Needs to get a new front wing, as well as the rest. Just looking at the battle from the back here. Brown and Hotshot very close together. Brown on 2-lap-old mediums, Hotshot on 3-lap-old softs. Don't think Brown's going to have to make a move here. However, these two are in front of Shea. Don't think then they won't get out in front of Flex Martin though, who I'm pretty sure will cut the pit lane line, but I don't really see, so can't make a comment on that one. Well, Brown is close. I just don't think close enough yet to make this move. Well, with DRS actually, he probably will be able to. As we'll watch the battle unfold. He's got the DRS, he's not moved his ERS out of medium. And obviously the DRS section is very long here at Abu Dhabi. Not the longest in the calendar, but you know, it's still quite long. And there's two really good strips of it in a row. So you have to say how, well, good it is. However, I do just think he's a bit too far away to make this move. So maybe next lap, or even at some later point of the lap, if there's a mistake made. Meanwhile, looking to the other side of the grid, Luke Vettel versus Trench. The Radar sets the fastest lap of the race, taking it from Big Slater. Buttons back, hits in himself. Now, I'm sure the mediums can't go to the end, so I presume the guys who did go on from the softs to the mediums, or hards, early, are planning to do it. Well, actually, no, the guys who went soft to mediums are planning to stop again. However, the ones who have gone to the hards, definitely going to the end now. As Trench here gets the move on Luke Vettel. It's a nice overtake down around the outside. Have the inside line for this 2-on-2. No Hulkenberg shenanigans here. But Luke Vettel trying to go for the smallest gap in the world. He's trying it again here. Up the inside. It was a good move back from Luke Vettel. However, Trench will stay there on him. And you can definitely see Trench just pushing the back of that Williams through here. It's nice to see these two having a good fight on their hands. As James Tourish is overtaking Big Slater here. That's something you don't expect to see. Mainly because James is on the mediums and Big Slater on the softs. But Luke's going into the pits now. Unfortunately, Trench can't reap the benefits of this, like on most tracks, because there's no DRS on the main straight. Okay, so all these guys just making the overtakes very, very quickly. Brown did get past Hotshot, by the way. But Luke Vettel seems to be going on to another set of softs, so he'll probably be taking on to about lap 15. Maybe 14, and then, well, actually no, probably will be 15, and then going the rest with mediums. Whereas I'm expecting Trench to take his to about lap 8, maybe 9, and then try his, actually maybe from 10 or 11, and then try his best to see them out, and see the mediums out till the end of the race. That seems like a very Trench thing to do. As Button overtakes Hotshot and puts himself into 10th position now. And here we go with Big Slater. Around the outside. It's a lovely move. And that's Big Slater up into second. Right, Radar 4 seconds off the lead now. After pitting already. Luke Vettel really held Trench up, and this is going to cost him. However, both of them still do have a stop to go. Radar's onto the softs. Trench onto, I'm not sure yet. Meanwhile, Luke Vettel overtakes Ghost Rider. He was obviously in AI, as he's a Ghost Rider. Yeah, okay. That joke died. Right, Trench into the pits now, and Big Slater is leading once again. So Trench onto the mediums. Probably going to go back to the softs right at the end. Possibly for a nav at fastest lap. But unfortunately for him, Luke Vettel has beaten him out the pits. And he's got Ghost Rider very, very close to him. We keep him with Radar though. Well, we keep him with James Tourish actually. Because he's got Radar behind him, Big Slater in front. Both with DRS. Well, both James and Radar with DRS. Big Slater really going to have to defend hard. Anyway, here we can see Radar's looking to make a move on James. But I don't think he's going to make it stick, even if he tried it. James will keep in front for now. As Hotshot's into the pits and out on some fresh, soft tyres. Buttons back, overtakes Brown as well, down for 9th position. Trench trying to close the gap again to Luke Vettel. However, it wouldn't really matter if Trench doesn't close that gap. Luke Vettel will have to pit anyway, so it's... both of them will have to pit as Big Slater goes into the pit, speaking of pitting. And here we go. This is the battle for the lead. James Tourish, or Yamez Tourish versus Riyar. Lightning Poker up into 3rd, haven't even said that he's in today's race, and James let Riyar through there. Or Riyar has just got that pure speed as he puts himself into 1st. Trench losing a little bit of time to Luke Vettel here, but I honestly don't think James is going to be able to keep this up and catch back up to Riyar. However, we will move to Big Slater, who's gone onto the mediums. Now 19 laps on the mediums is possible. I honestly think that if anyone's going to do it, it's Big Slater. And I mean, you can just see the difference in pace here. Wow. And that is a very good move there from Big Slater. But no, you can definitely see that it's a possibility. However, a probability, I wouldn't say it's very high. However, it's still a chance, so you can't ever rule something out. As Big Slater gets a 3-second time penalty. Probably one of the guys not to get one, but again, we're at Abu Dhabi. What do you expect? I mean, apart from sunny skies. Next nearest battle is, well, it isn't really a battle, but it's just Brown cruising behind Buttons back here. As well as James kind of gaining time to Riyar, but then losing it again. Trench has also gained up on Luke Vettel. The softs are a dangerous tyre. I wouldn't advise touching them twice in one race. As Hotshot gets a 3-second time penalty. See, I'm very much with Marcel here, going from softs to hards. Or if you're going to do softs to mediums, the only chance you have of doing it is starting outside the top 10. Hence why someone like Big Slater could go 9 laps on those softs. Honestly, I think he could have gone more if he wanted to. However, it was just the fact that he physically couldn't. Or he felt like he couldn't. But anyway, Trench is here. Within DRS range of Luke Vettel as he used it on that last straight. The Red Bull looking down the Williams with, well, a very sinister look. But then that's just the Red Bull, so... Luke Vettel defending his heart out here. They've got Lightning Poker in front of them. James Tourish in the pits. As Trench keeps his ERS on high. Big Slater setting the fastest lap, so currently the fastest man out on track. And considering he was fighting James earlier, to be in front of him by quite a considerable distance just shows how far in front he is and how greatly the switch to medium has affected him. As, oh no, Lightning Poke is now in Luke Vettel and Trench's fight. And by in, I mean, basically Trench has lost it. Luke Vettel's not in hot lap. Oh, now he's in hot lap when he's run out of it. As he goes through Lightning Poker. If he hadn't done that, definitely would have been at least one of them in the wall. As he get a flying in Sector 3, Sankey dead. I think binned it somewhere in Sector 3. Oh, yep, he binned it after the triple right-hander. And a VSC as well. For Lightning Poker, this is probably like one of the worst places to have it. If this was just a bit further on, he could have gotten the pits with a lot less of a time restraint on him. Like, the one annoying thing about virtual safety cars is the fact that you can see Lightning Poker here losing time to radar in front of him. But luckily for Trench, he was able to save up some ERS. So now he's got a hell of a lot to play with, trying to overtake Luke Vessel and Lightning Poker. Luke Vessel trying his luck now though on the the racing point. As Shea gets the time penalty, but can Trench make the move on Lightning Poker before the straight? I mean, I don't think he'll be able to, you know. I think Lightning Poker will be an obstacle. Trench will have to overtake during his quest to overtake Luke Vessel here. He's gone for the cutback, so he has a better chance of accelerating out of the corner. Here he goes. High ERS mode. Flex Martin with a time penalty for corner cutting. Naughty boy. Braking in late. But Lightning Poker leaving his left hand side quite open. He's going to squeeze Trench out of space. Trench doing the same back though as these two running side by side going into the corner. Trench now takes the lead out of the two of them and is now into third place. He's got a Williams in front. That's his next target. Luke Vessel has a target board on his head. And Trench is ready to fire that arrow. Unfortunately, the silver arrow he's using though is still in 12, so we have to wait a while. F1 jokes that nobody really likes, but I still say them anyway. Oh, look at that, Big Slater's joined the party. I mean, eventually. I'm kind of just waiting for him to join it. He's just behind Lightning Poker. James Tourish now setting the fastest lap of the race, showing that he's the fastest car out on track. As here goes Big Slater, down the inside. I mean, boom. Lightning Poker getting a penalty for corner cutting. Anyway, Trench on Luke. I think this just proves to people how much quicker. And how many moves does Luke want to make on this straight? That is my question. I saw at least 3 there. Going from inside to middle to inside to outside. Oh no, sorry. Going outside, middle, outside, inside. I mean, damn. As Luke Vessel looks to get the move back, but Trench keeps that nice inside line. Gets the position rather nicely and is up into second place. Luke Vessel down to third, and he could be having even more troubles after this. There is Big Slater behind him. And Big Slater is going to want that third position. Particularly badly, I will have to say. Very interested to see how this battle between these two will play out. As Big Slater gets a time penalty there. Lightning Poker obviously going to the pits. Interesting. I wonder what tyres he's going to put on. I mean, most likely he'll go onto hards. However, the softs could still be a good option if he's planned to go for the 2-stop. For at this stage in the race being 6th, I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend going, yeah, he's gone straight to hards. And to be fair, if he's going hard, I would have suggested he hit in a lap or 2 earlier. However, he got some DRS out of it, so I guess it's not too bad. And maybe when Big Slater was on his rear end, then maybe it should have happened, and oh my gosh, Big Slater, what the fuck. 334 kpm. Giving Luke Vessel the squeeze as well. Luke Vessel gets squeezied. However, will there be a move made by Luke here? No, there won't. Never mind. As I'm just going to look to see if there's any other battles here. I mean, Buttons back closing in on Flex Marcel. So we'll go have a look at these two here. Marcel obviously on the hards. Buttons back on the medium tyres here. Could be an interesting fight. And both of them will, well, Buttons back will undoubtedly have to pit again. However, if he can get past Flex or even get into the DRS, that could be very, very good for him. However, it's just getting into that DRS. He's got to gain just 2 tenths. Really, in the next few corners as Brown goes into the pits. I don't think Buttons gonna be able to gain that at all. Flex doing really well in this first sector. Maybe if Button had just upped that ERS a bit, he possibly could have made it in, but unfortunately he's not going to make it into the DRS, and that's just going to be unfortunate for him. And even that little DRS push could solidify him, you know, walking out of here with 7th or even 7th or 8th place. And he may well still get that, but it will just solidify it a bit more. Meanwhile, Hotshot and Shay look to be having a little altercation here. Hotshot with the DRS. Shay just trying to hold off on his hard tyres. Here goes Hotshot. And the Toro Rosso dives in there, piercing through the silver arrow. And he's up into 10th. That's into the points for Hotshot, he goes. As Luke Vessel now goes into the pits from his soft tyres. And, oh, Shay looking to get that position back. And I forgot King Kodge was in this race. Sorry, King Kodge. I feel kind of bad now. Yep, Luke Vessel onto the mediums now. So his 2-stop is done. The only other man who, well, only a few more men actually need to complete their 2-stops. Ooh, Shay almost bossing it there. Luke Vessel coming out behind Lightning Poker. Trench is also closing Radar down. This could be a very interesting end to a race here. Especially if Trench chooses to stay out. Because Big Slater could also choose to stay out. So it's going to be close, and I'm really looking forward to that. As here we are with Luke Vessel with Buttons back. Luke Vessel's going to take the inside line. Buttons back going to just defend the outside, but Luke won't be able to gain the position here. He's got the better run from the switchback. And he's going to go for the outside line. Switches to the inside, but chooses the outside yet again. As Button gives him for the position. And it looks like Luke Vessel will be up into 6th place. So well done Luke for that move there. As now he can go and try and chase Flex Marcel. Meanwhile, between Shay and Hotshot. Hotshot not really able to get too far away, but Shay's got that DRS, so you know how deadly it can be. As Shay almost going to the back of Hotshot there. Slight mess up on the brakes, I believe. As I think something's happened to Flex Marcel. I believe he may have binned it into the pit lane there, and then decided to leave because of that reason. And as you can see, he's lost part of his front wing, so not really the greatest for him. So I'm just going to assume he's out and not really think about him anymore. So who should we move on? I'm looking at the difference between Trench and Redar. Honestly, if Redar... when Redar hits for the softs, I don't know how long that will be. His whole hot shot's retired. That's a nasty place to bin it. It's a VSC. Redar's in a slow as hell area, but still gaining time over Trench. VSC really unhelpful in that regard, but and it kind of evens out depending on where you are on the track. But Trench using this time to go into the pits. This is a perfect opportunity for Trench. And Big Slater as well. I'm wondering what tyres they're going on. Redar now has to pit again. He's still under virtual safety car. James choosing to stay out. He kind of has to here. Luke, unsure what he's doing. I presume he will be staying out as well. But Trench and Big Slater both choose the mediums. Shave a 3-second time once he buttons back pitting as well. Obviously, as he has to. Well, he doesn't have to, but you know, there weren't really many better options. But Trench and Big Slater both probably going for the fight with each other, rather than battling Redar. However, Redar does need a pit, so it'll be quite interesting to see where Redar comes out from that pit stop. Especially these guys choosing the mediums over the softs. Surely they could have taken the softs 10 laps. And that may be the reason the thing that they end up ruining. But Luke Vessel's just chosen to leave as well. And that wasn't disconnection, that was a clear leave. So, yeah, having your friend in the game, not exactly the best thing to do. Just gonna point that out there, as they tempt you to leave. And really, you've only got 10 laps left, like kind of unsportsmanlike, but oh well. That's not my call to make. Sure, Trench wants to penalise them for purposely leaving. Then, yeah, he can do that, but Redar's into the pits now. With 9 laps left to go. You have to say, if he goes onto the softs here, which he does, I'm telling you, Trench could have got the soft tyres out. He could have done the soft strap. Trench in front of Redar. And by how much? It's minuscule. The gap is minuscule, but Big Slater's also here. This is off 9 laps to remember, lads. And Redar has the advantage by tyres. However, if Redar loses a wing, or if any of these guys lose a wing, it is game over for them. You get a little bit of damage, you are fucked. There is no doubt on that one. You are absolutely fucked. Redar going for the move instantly, but Trench says no. If these two keep fighting, Big Slater will get pulled into this. And that is what Trench wants. He wants Big Slater to be there as pressure for Redar. On his own, Trench cannot defend this man on a mission. Oh, he's doing a bloody good job. Oh, I spoke too soon. Redar is up into second. All hope lies with James Tourish. And there's 9 laps left. Can James take his tyres 17 laps? That is the question. I think the answer's no, but if James can, it's a bloody miracle. It is an absolute miracle. And obviously, I kind of want Redar to win as well. He deserves it, but Big Slater taking the fastest lap of the race. I'll bet anyone a tenner that's topped by Redar. Like, this lap. Nobody says bet. If anyone says bet in the chat, that's an official bet, by the way. So don't say bet in the chat, please. By the time the first sector ends for Redar. Wink, wink. But here we go. I'll go with Trench's POV. I mean, he's going to gain. There's no doubt on that one. Trench is going to gain. However, the gain isn't the best. He's closer. It's a good thing. However, Big Slater... Is Big Slater within that DRS line as well? No, he's not. He's going to have to keep pushing his arse off. As Buttons back also overtakes Ghost Rider. And yeah, it's definitely going to be hard for Big Slater. He's going to have to push. You know, Trench can just sit here and absorb, you know, slipstream and DRS when it comes to him. However, Big Slater needs to basically work at maybe even, you know, a lot faster speeds than Trench, is what I'm trying to say. You know, Trench falls back kind of slightly, lifts off a little bit too much in one corner, the Big Slater will be in this fight. Oh, James into the pits now. Onto the softs, obviously. There's no other tyre you can go on, can you? What, do you choose the mediums? Raw? No, he stays on the softs, like, that's kind of obvious. Radar back into the lead. Big Slater still 1.34 seconds behind me at 1.4 now. James almost 15 seconds behind as well. That's 16. But here we go. Trench of DRS. Radar just trying to break the slipstream. Trench really using that to pull him. Later braking as well from Trench. Really working wonders. Big Slater not able to keep up with this. Harry does have a better turning speed than Trench, so it's clear Trench is mainly focused on cornering. Sorry, no, Big Slater's more focused on cornering than these other two. And we'll just have a look at penalties though. Radar currently has 2 penalties, and Shay's left. Trench only has 3 warnings, and is that Shay? I think Shay may have lagged. So Shay Flex and Luke Vessel all choosing to leave. Shay, I know, lags quite a bit. Oh, he's back. Yep. However, Big Slater also has 6 seconds of penalties, and is very close to getting another one. Meaning that Trench here currently is in the lead, but not by much. I mean, the one good thing for Trench, I think I can say, is that Radar's tyres will start weakening out on his like 7th lap, 8th lap. With lap 26, lap 27. You know, he's going to need a lot, and I mean a lot, to go in his favour here, Trench, if he wants to win today's race. Currently, the odds, well, I wouldn't say they're 50-50, but they're quite even right now. Radar's main thing is the fact that he's faster overall, but he's also on the better tyre. But again, he could be using, you know, a time trial setup, so he's faster in quality, obviously. However, on the other hand, Trench has less penalties. In fact, he has 3 seconds less. No, I don't want to exit. I want to check the penalties again. No, my apologies. Yes, 6 seconds left, less in terms of penalties than Radar, and also he's on the mediums, which can go longer, which won't run out as quickly. And yeah, he hasn't got an advantage to say, but at the moment it looks like Trench is within that range where he's quite comfortable right now. And if he to, okay, James, you know, if he had to lose, you know, a whole second this lap because he's not in the DRS here, then maybe he should be worried. But other than that, I do not see Trench bottling this. I think this is Trench's race to win. Redar to win it across the line, but Trench to win it due to the penalties. However, if Trench gets a penalty himself, things could all change. So again, it's very dependent on the players. As luckily there for Trench, Redar did not get Flex's AI to give him a hand. As Ghost Rider hits in for some softs. Bye-bye Flex, Martin. Oh, sorry, Marcel. I'm just looking at Redar here. Currently holding up his ERS. Doing quite a good job of that. Trench has quite a bit to play with too. King Corge also overtaking Brown for 8th and 9th. I wonder if Brown can go and get that position back. And as we can see, the McLaren currently in front. Brown going to make a move around the outside. We've got a bad camera angle. I don't like it. He's trying to go for the outside. King Corge not giving room. All the two of them touch, and that is just going to help Ghost Rider immensely. Meanwhile, as you can see, our front three are all just kind of in their own little race here. James happy being 16 seconds behind, just again doing his own thing. I'd very much like to see what Redar's tyre wear is next lap or even the lap after. As his tyre wear surely isn't as good as Trench's and Big Slater's right now. I'm expecting it to be at least like 25-26%. You know, not the highest in the world, but like, actually even probably over that. Maybe like 30-33. You know, in that range or so. And it's surely got to be. And I say that because Trench has started regaining a little bit of time on him. But also he's done 5 laps. When these tyres die at like 8 or 9, you know, anything from like 50% onwards on a tyre is, you're running a high risk here at being very slow. And as we can see, Trench is just gaining loads and loads here. But it could just be that Trench has gone faster. I mean, he might just... Oh yeah, he's pumped the ERS up. Don't you know, pump it up. Yeah, got to pump it up. Hat the memes. Oh, there's Trench's penalty. That could be costly. If Trench makes one mistake, you know, ends up locking up a bit or having a tiny bit of a spin, and you know, kind of ruins his tyres just a little bit. Oh, Brown is out. As a virtual safety car. I mean, I don't know who's actually going to be happy about. I think Redar will be more happy about that than the Trenches. However, it'll be hard to tell. And I have Brown out. It's unlucky. King Corge going on the hits as well. I mean, why not? You can just do fastest lap. Okay, why the hell not? But as you can see, Redar has been able to use this to his advantage. He's gained 2.6 seconds on Trench. Redar has actually just gained well, he's not gained at 2.6 seconds, but he's gained over 1.5 seconds on Trench thanks to that virtual safety car. And now you add those up, like there's been 4 this race, I believe? 3 or 4? You add those up every time. People in front actually gain time due to these things. And you have to look and think, is that even fair? I mean, Trench now has to basically keep within 3 seconds. He's got 8 tenths to play with here. Wait, he has 8 tenths worth of mistakes. within 2 laps. Well, within 2 and a bit laps. This is going to be risky business. Reader, on the other hand, he's at that point where if he gets another warning, he will get another penalty. Big Slater also the same too, but he's been very good at this race. So it's kind of just who, like, how are these penalties going to play out, and in whose favour will they play out? I'm looking at them, like, anyone could really get this. Is Shay actually here? Yeah, Shay's here, okay. So is Ghost Rider. So these two are also fighting for 8th and 9th, which is interesting to say the least. Meanwhile, the leaders start the penultimate lap. Trench 1.5 seconds behind Redar. The virtual safety guy helping out Redar so much there. Especially with the tyre wear too. You know, just that little bit extra time. Just let the tyres cool down a little bit. You know, you're not pushing them so hard. As well as I'm not as heavily being affected by tyre wear. Or by wear. I mean, Trench has just gained a whole second within basically the first half a sector. And he's closing in so much here. Did Redar make the right decision going on to the softs? And if he had gone to the mediums, he would be a bit slower. However, it would have been slower, but still he would have gained a bit from this. From, you know, the fact that his tyres now wouldn't be wearing out. It's hard to call. It really is. But you can see how close Trench is here to the back of Redar. I mean, he's trying his best to defend it. I think Big Slater made a mistake, but Trench has just overtaken Redar in a bit we didn't see, for fuck's sake. And now Redar is pushing. Big Slater's in on this action too. Oh, as he's got a time penalty. Well, now it's like Redar. Big Slater just needs to gain 3.5 tenths. Don't even make a dent on Redar. Buchan's back 7 tenths behind Lightning Poker right now. Make that 6 tenths. Don't know where he is. They're not in a DRS section, but there seems to be an AI car that's going faster than everyone else. Luckily, King Kodge not really doing much in terms of helping or stopping anyone, but Big Slater, a massive run here. Oh, they're locking wheels. They're locking wheels, and Big Slater's... he's just about got it there. However, these two will be going side by side. Redar will have the inside... No, Big Slater's going to take the inside line. He has said, fuck no to that. Redar will take the inside line for the next 2. There's contact on Redar's got up the penalty. Big Slater lets him back through though. So now these two are on evens. And here we can see it. This is the fight for second place. I mean, Trench has basically won it. You know, Trench has got the win. King Kodge's AI is being annoying as fuck. Ooh, and Redar's lost it. His tyres are completely gone. Trench wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Big Slater comes home in second. Redar will take third. King Kodge's AI will take 10th. Or King Kodge himself will take 10th. Not sure if it's his AI or himself. James, or Gamez, will take 4th. Is it Buttons back or is it Lightning Poker? I believe it's Poker here. Who will take 5th position. Just due to penalties, in all fairness. Buttons back will take 6th, so I was right. Which means it just leaves Ghost Rider, Shay, and Luke. Well, Ghost Rider and Shay really to finish up. I think it may go down to penalties here. I'm not too sure. I think Shay may have more. I mean, I actually... Also, I'm just going to quickly say my drive of the day. Big Slater. No second doubt. There is no doubt on that one. Last to second. I mean, wow. Just wow. Well done to Trench for the win. Big Slater did amazingly to get second. Reader, I mean, he fended off so well. You cannot... All three of them deserve like massive praise, but the 18th to second, that is pretty fucking good. And Ghost Rider even beat Luke versus AR. Wow, just wow. Well, Shay unfortunately didn't, but I'm sure we'll move him down a bit. Anyway, my drive of the day has been said to be Big Slater. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.